Ford in Blackshear, by Jessup Premium Storage out here on the Waycross Highway, by Republic Services, and by Murphy Builder Supply on Northeast Forest Street in Jessup. And Bob, we got some guests in this morning. Who do we have?
They're in here talking about hospice.
Okay, go ahead. We got. I can see her tag from right here. It's a pretty good one right there. Erica Woodard. Erica Woodard, and also Susan Richards. Now, they are with Heartland Hospice Care. And go ahead and, Erica, tell us a little bit about Heartland Hospice.
We are here locally in Jessup. We are the third largest hospice provider in the United States. We serve patients here in Wayne County as well as surrounding counties. All of our employees live here locally. We just wanted to come on here and talk about hospice a little bit because 90% of people do not understand it. So when they learn about it, they 9 times out of 10 tell us they wish they would have come on service sooner.
Okay. Erica Woodard in this morning, along with Susan Richards. Susan, you're an RN, is that correct, with Heartland Hospice?
Yes.
Tell us a little about the work that you do with Heartland Hospice.
My role with Heartland is I'm a nurse. I'm a registered nurse, but my specific role with Heartland is I'm a CTN, or care transition nurse. I work directly with Erica. She's our hospice consultant. I am her nurse that's attached to her side, her clinical person. And whenever she needs evaluations done or palliative care or hospice evals done, you know, I'm the one that goes to the home or wherever the patient calls home and assesses them. And I go to the primary care physician and the hospice medical director. And if the patient's eligible and they meet criteria, we get services started, and it's 100% paid for by their Medicare benefit. Now we also take Medicaid, that's 100% covered. We take private insurance, but we also admit patients regardless of insurance or ability to pay.
All right. Now, Erica, do y'all have, where's your office in this area?
We're at 161 North Macon Street in Jessup. It's the old Plum Creek building behind the old Bank of America.
Okay, 161 North Macon Street.
Yes, sir.
Okay, is where your location is. And how long has Heartland Hospice been here in Jessup and Wayne County? Do you know offhand?
Since 2007.
Well, the agency's been here locally since, I came to work with them in 2008, and they were here about 3 years prior to that. And I think and we've always served Wayne County since that. We've actually had an office here, I think, for around 6 years, give or take.
Okay. Now, Heartland Hospice here in town, there's a special reason why you wanted to come on this morning. Is that correct, Erica?
It is National Hospice and Palliative Care Month. So we just wanted to come on and talk about some myths of hospice and our philosophy of care and how we do things in our agency.
Okay, go ahead, Erica, and tell us a little about Heartland Hospice and the Hospice Month.
We are we are unique in that we have a for-profit and a non-for-profit side. Our non-for-profit side is our memorial fund. 100% of those funds go to patients who are indigent, whether they may need, different things for their home, last wish trips, whatever that patient needs. If financially they could not, they need some help, we can come in to help with that.
Okay.
All hospices are funded the same by Medicare, Medicaid insurance. Everybody is reimbursed exactly the same. You are allowed to keep your primary care physician. A lot of people do not. They think you have to give up your doctor.
Okay.
But you don't. You stay under him, and you have a network of people managing your care.
Okay. All right, so you've got that going on. What else about the Hospice Care Month that you want to talk about here? I know she's got a pamphlet over there that she's opening up here and all kinds of stuff. Go ahead and talk to us a little bit about it, Susan.
Well, what I have here is actually the same exact information that I go over with a family in their home. It's called an informational packet, and if anybody would like me to come just do an informational visit, or Erica, or do an evaluation. You do not have to have a doctor's order just to get information or to do an evaluation. You can call us 24/7 and request that, and we'll be glad and honored to come out and meet with you. And a couple of things during National Hospice Month that is really a passion of mine and that I want to get the word out about is the word hospice has a stigma attached to it. And I want people to know that hospice is not about death and dying or giving up or the end. It's about helping you live and live with high quality until your last breath, whether that's 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year. You can be on hospice as long as you need to be, as long as you continue to be eligible.
Okay.
And there's different levels of care with hospice. I'll be glad to go over that.
Sure, go right ahead.
In
We have
depth.
plenty of time.
There's 4 levels of care with hospice. There's routine home care, which is where we take care of patients in their home, wherever they call home, whether it's a private home, a nursing home, a assisted living or personal care home. We will come and provide care if you're eligible and you want it.
Okay.
There's general inpatient care, which is a higher intensity level of care. It's when a patient has a symptom out of control and they need short-term acute symptom management to get that symptom under control, and they need to be inpatient somewhere. They may, they require frequent RN intervention, frequent monitoring of IVs, stuff like that. We can put them inpatient here locally. We have a contract with the hospital who has a beautiful hospice suite, and we take care of them there, get the symptom under control, and transition them back home onto routine home care where they want to be with their family. Then the third level of care is called continuous care or crisis care. And that's where if a patient's at home and they have a symptom out of control and we feel like we can get it under control in the home setting and the patient wishes to remain in their home, we can activate crisis care where our staff stays with them around the clock until the symptom's under control.
Okay.
And then respite care, that's actually the only level of care that's not specifically for the patient. It's more for the caregiver. It's for caregiver relief. If you're a caregiver and you're taking care of the hospice patient and you're burning out, you're fatigued, you're tired, you just need a break, you may be just needing to go out of town for something and don't have anybody to stay with your family member, and you can ask for respite care. And that's where we give the patient 5 days at any of our contracted facilities in any of our counties. We're contracted to all the nursing homes, hospital, and we put the patient in there for 5 days to give the family a break. And then we bring them back home. And everything I'm talking about here, again, is paid for. 90% of people that come on hospice has got Medicare. And so when I say it's paid for 100%, that's if the patient has Medicare, Medicaid, that's paid for 100%. There's no out-of-pocket cost. Hospice is the most comprehensive health care benefit in America today. And it's so underutilized and underused just because people are fearful of it. There's many myths about hospice. I talk to people every day that say, I don't want hospice because I have to sign a DNR, a do not resuscitate. And that's absolutely a myth. You do not have to be a do not resuscitate. You retain all your rights as a patient. We don't come in to take anything away or change anything. We come in to meet you where you're at in life's journey and go with you from there.
All right. Well, in the studio with us this morning are a couple ladies here from Heartland Hospice of Jessup, and also you'll have offices in the surrounding areas. You got Susan Richards, who you just heard. She's an RN with Heartland Hospice, and also Erica Woodard in this morning from Heartland Hospice, talking about their care, hospice care, and also this is Hospice Care Month. Anything else, Erica, that you would like to inform our listeners about this morning?
A lot of people are not aware that we also take on patients who need palliative chemo, radiation, dialysis. And a lot of people are amazed. When we get patients on service, a lot of times they benefit by the extra care, and we have actually gotten some better and discharged them off because they are no longer eligible.
And we celebrate that.
We do, and
Okay.
that's, those are the most great stories and the best things that we can hope for. But if somebody is in the disease process where that cannot happen, then we are there with the family till the end. We also have our bereavement program that follows the family for an additional 13 months after, their loved one has passed on.
Okay, when you say follow the loved ones for 13 months after the loved one's passed on, what do you mean? What kind of service do you provide there with that?
Our bereavement coordinator, they provide support for any family members that may be going through difficult times, check in on them, make sure they're doing okay. If there's anything we can assist them with or help them with, that's what we're here to do.
All right, go ahead.
And also, we follow patients automatically for 13 months, and the significance of 13 months is to get that loved one who's grieving through the first holiday, without them
Right.
the first Christmas, the first Mother's Day, Father's Day, and so on. And then we follow the patient actually after that for as long as they need us, and we do have counseling and support groups available for the family, and we do some specialized counseling for children who are grieving, who's lost parents or loved ones. And so the bereavement program is the part of hospice that it envelops the family with love, and it carries forward even after the patient's passed on. And I've actually had many patients tell me that they were comforted by the thought that they knew we were going to be there for their loved one even after they were gone. So bereavement program is a big part of what we do.
Okay. Erica Woodard in this morning, along with Susan Richards, an RN with Heartland Hospice, you were just listening to there. Heartland Hospice in this morning, talking about Hospice Care Month and the different services they provide at Heartland Hospice, which is located in Jessup on North Bacon Street. But y'all also have offices in other areas around, right?
We do. We have one in Brunswick, Jacksonville. There's some in North Georgia. We're all over the place.
Okay. So Heartland Hospice, several locations, but a location here in Jessup on North Bacon Street. Tell us a little bit about your staff here in Jessup, and how many different employees do you have, and what kind of services do they provide?
We have a whole network of people to help support the family and the patient. We have a hospice physician, of course, our case manager, nurses, social worker, bereavement coordinator, volunteer coordinator, and also our volunteer program is a big part of us. We have vigil volunteers who are combed through, and they go through a background check and everything, and they will help us with different, if we have a family who could use a few hours to go out and do their shopping or whatever they need to do, a volunteer can come in and sit with the patient.
Okay. All right. So you got a lot of different folks that can help out, from volunteers to RNs to management to different type of the medical care, from a person's regular doctor to CNAs and things of that sort, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Heartland Hospice in this morning here in Jessup. Susan Richards and along with Erica Woodard talking about Heartland Hospice and the care they provide, and just wanted to come in this morning and share during Hospice Care Month. Any other information that y'all want to pass along to our listeners, ladies?
We are also a level 4 We Honor Veterans partner. We are a level 4 We Honor Veterans partner.
Okay, Susan wanted to say something with that.
Yeah.
Honor Flight.
Yeah, we are level 4 We Honor Veterans, and we also participate in Honor Flight here locally. Honor Flight's a national undertaking where we fly veterans to Washington every year. It's all expense paid, private jets chartered. We take all the veterans up there. They all have a guardian with them to assist them to see the memorials that were built in their honor. And I'm actually the flight nurse on duty.
Okay. Now,
and
these
I'm
are
very proud of
patients of
that.
Heartland Hospice?
Any
patient.
veteran.
Any veteran?
Any veteran in the community
Okay.
who would like to go to Washington, who has never been able to see the memorials that was built in their honor, It's an all expense paid trip. They can contact me. I'll assist them in filling out the application. And we are really looking for any World War II veterans specifically because that's a dying breed. And we want
several thousand of those die every day here in our country.
Absolutely.
Now, how often do y'all go to this
We go
event?
in May of every year.
May of every year.
Saturday morning, we fly out of the Brunswick Airport, and we're back usually by 9 or 10 that night. And we have a Heroes Welcome Home at the airport.
Okay, fly up, see the memorials, and then fly back. The phone number here in Jessup is 427-3163, 427-3163. All right, Erica, anything else? Y'all covered quite a lot there about Heartland Hospice, the different services y'all provide, and talking about Hospice Care Month. Anything else? Go ahead. We got plenty of time.
Just two things that I would like to add. Because
okay, go ahead, Susan.
Just two things I would like to add is if any of your listeners are in a situation where they have a sick loved one or they're sick themselves and they have any of the following things going on, they may want to call for a free home assessment and evaluation. It's like if someone's losing weight, they're sleeping more, they've been going to the hospital a lot, the ER a lot, they've got swelling in the ankles, they've got shortness of breath or difficulty breathing, they're getting weaker and during activities, losing endurance, and pain that's poorly controlled, loss of interest in activities, loss of appetite, confusion, wounds that aren't healing. Those kinds of things are just general hospice indicators, but anyone in the community who feels like they need more help and more health care for a loved one, it never hurts just to get an evaluation to see if they qualify. And do not be afraid that that word hospice is attached to it, because even if they're not eligible for hospice, we are a big community partner, and we've got a network of other providers that we make referrals to get that person whatever it is they do need in the home. And so contacting us can sometimes be the segue to get you care that you need, even though you didn't need hospice.
Okay. All right, ladies, we appreciate y'all coming in this morning. Erica Woodard and Susan Richards with Heartland Hospice, and it was informative. I mean, I think that a lot of folks out there learned a lot more about hospice and Heartland Hospice and the services y'all provide and services hospice in general provides. All right, and y'all welcome back anytime that you want to come back.
We appreciate you having us.
Okay, well, y'all have a good day. All right, we'll be back more of the world-famous Butchand Bob Show in a moment.
November 18th, 6 p.m., welcome the Shepherds to the Odom City Gym. Dove music recording artist The Shepherds with opening act Hannah Thornton. It's going to be a wonderful night of worship as the Shepherds make their last stop in the South Georgia area for 2017. You don't want to miss the amazing music the Shepherds will bring. The show begins at 6 p.m. with a minimum of $5 donation at the door, with any additional donation appreciated. Don't miss the Shepherds, November 18th, 6 p.m. at the Odom City Gym.
105.5 FM in Jessup, Big Dog Country, WIFO. Butch Hubbard here with you. Tuesday morning, 14th day of November at, about 22 minutes after 8 o'clock. 51 degrees here in southeast Georgia. Looking for sunny skies today with a high today near 67. Bob, it's good to step out in the morning and it'd be about 48 to 50 degrees. I kind of like that, you know?
It's good weather.
Feeling good, you know, puts a pep in the step. You're not out there sweating and, you know, getting all hot. You can, you know, get out and do things in the morning without having to worry about taking a shower after you do that, you know? I love it when it's this cool because I can let Shadow and Doobie out of their pen. They have a 10 by 20 pen. I can let them run around the yard and down the dam and that kind of stuff, and I can keep up with them and not feel like I got to go back inside and take a shower. So I love it when it's cooler like this, and the cooler temperatures will continue. But on Football Friday, as we'll be hosting Jones County, it's going to be sunny during the day with a high of 73. Clear skies that night of 52. So folks will need a light jacket at the ball game. And it's amazing that both of these teams are going to have their starting quarterbacks out. Ours with their hand and theirs with their leg, right?
Right. Sad, just sad to see, but
it is.
it is what it is. Injuries part of football, but hate it for our senior quarterback Garrett. He's had a great year, 22 touchdowns, 1,600 yards. Just hasn't lost a game under center, but just hit that hand on that helmet and got thrown to the ground and didn't look good Friday night.
So he just hit one of his lineman's hands.
That was a
defensive lineman with his hand.
Right.
Okay, and you see that happen a lot. We got to find out why we got these bugs in here. You see that happen a lot in football, where a quarterback's hand will hit the helmet of either an offensive lineman or defensive lineman when they're throwing the ball, or whatever the case may be. And if they fall on that hand, it can really hurt. But his is fractured, right?
Yeah, he's got a fracture in his hand last season. Right. Coach Cribb called it a season-ending injury, so he's done for the season. Great season. We'll miss him, but he'll be on the sidelines Friday helping Shamar like he did last Friday.
Right. And Shamar came in early in the game, did a great job.
Right. Played well. So.
Yeah. Somebody just texted in, your dog is named Doobie, LOL. Yeah, because he's a coon dog. Found him on the side of the road a couple of years ago between Garda and Mount Pleasant. And he runs around and acts crazy like Scooby-Doo. And so, so man, he looks like he doesn't look, he's not a dog like Scooby-Doo, he's a coon dog, but he has that same type of look to him and mentality to him. So we named him after Scooby-Doo. So don't get other ideas because we named him Doobie. Okay, folks? People are thinking, yeah, you named him Doobie, didn't you? No, it's after Scooby-Doo. So we just kind of combined it together and made it Doobie. So he's named after Scooby-Doo. And so, Shadow, my older dog, Shadow, he's an 11-year-old black lab who basically acts like an old man. And he gets so aggravated at Doobie, who's probably now he was probably about a little over 2 years old. And the dog's got more energy than you can shake a stick at because he's a coon dog. He's used to running through the woods and treeing coons, if he was ever trained. But dog loves to run. When he takes off, it would take a Kenyan marathoner to stay up with him. I mean, that dog can run. And when he wants to get away, he does. But he'll beat Bob back in about 20 to 30 minutes to the house if he takes off there through the woods. All right, so the big ball game this coming Friday night between Wayne County and Jones County. And you mentioned in sports that we lost to Jones County in the first round of state playoffs last year. Is that correct?
Here at home.
Here at home?
Yeah. We saw how talented Telvin Cross was last year, so we know what talented quarterback he was this year, but he's not playing, so that's good news for us.
Okay, and so they'll pad it up. They'll get all padded up for Friday night. Our coverage will begin at 6 o'clock with the coaches' show. Pre-game at 6:45 with Bob Morgan and Joe Roddy. Kickoff at 7:30. And the ball game, and then all the way to midnight with Tommy Palmer after the game with...
I think Tommy's got the high school score.
He's not going to have the high school score? No? There's still a lot of more teams playing. I thought it was the next week he didn't do it.
I have to check with Jonathan. I thought he said last week was last week, so I'm not sure.
Jonathan, was this... Jonathan's be popping around the station somewhere and see if there's going to be doing the high school scoreboard. You think he would do it. I mean, there's still a lot of teams playing. But if they don't, then... we'll end with the post-game show, the post-game show, right? Country Financial post-game show?
Financial post-game show,
yeah.
right.
You'll have the interview with Coach Cribb and the wrap-up of the game and all that kind of stuff like that, and talking about where we're going to be next week. If we win, or when we win on Friday night, what happens the following Friday night?
Depends on who wins in the other bracket.
Okay.
If Carver and Atlanta wins and we win, they're both 1 seeds, they'll flip a coin. But if Flowery Branch upsets Carver, it'll be here Friday night.
The old flip a coin. Well, if we got to flip a coin, we know we're on the road, Bob. we never win a flip a coin.
One many, that's for sure.
I think we've lost them about 80% of the time, But we still got to take care of business. Jones County comes in here. Were they seeded number 1 in their region?
They're at 2 seed.
2 seed. But they had only lost like 1 or 2 games, right?
Lost 1 game to
One game?
Stockbridge. Stockbridge is the number 1 seed. Stockbridge is playing Ware County this Friday night in Stockbridge. So again, very talented team. But should be a fun ball game. As Coach Cribb mentioned, it'll be a big physical game. So speed is what they have. You know, got to control their speed. But our defense plays like they played last Friday night. I feel good about our chances.
Yeah, keep them between the tackles.
Defense played extremely well. That was the best defense performance I've seen in years at JC Stadium. It was just a beat down to Thomas County Central. They had 38 yards total offense. I mean, our defense played lights out. They're playing with that swagger, as Coach Cribb mentioned yesterday. They seem very confident in what they can do and how well they can shut down offenses. So look for them to shut down Jones County Friday night. But get your tickets in advance. Again, they'll be on sale Thursday and Friday at the school, 11 to 1. Again, I think it's still $8. Don't think they've increased the price.
We got to find out where these bugs are coming from. They're aggravating the living daylights out of us. These little flying black bugs are coming from somewhere. We got to find out. It may be a mouse that's died in the station somewhere, and that's the reason why they're in here. I don't know. There's little itty-bitty flying black bugs flying around the station, and we're trying to figure out where the source is coming from. So important games this coming Friday night in Wayne County, and that ought to be good. And you think, I was listening to some of the AM 1370 yesterday. Folks, if you like sports talk, where they talk nothing but sports all day long with different hosts, then our AM station is where you need to be. Fox Sports Radio. So they're tied in with the best in the business. Fox Sports Radio, 1370 AM. 1370 AM, The Buzz, WLOP. You got the morning show going on right now. Dan Patrick will be in at 12 from 9 to 12. Dan Patrick will be on from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Jim Rome from 12 to 3. Rich Eisen from 3 to 5. Chuck Oliver with nothing but college football all year long from 5 to 7. Scott Corman and his brother on starting at 7 o'clock, and then the overnight crew. And heard one of them talking yesterday about that a lot of times poll people will overreact when they get beat. So some of them are thinking that Georgia will drop down to 9 or 10 tonight after this poll comes out.
I don't see that.
You don't see it dropping that far? Okay, you see maybe 7?
I think they better be dropping us to about 6.
6?
I mean, what are they talking about? 7. We lost one game.
I know, one game. But it was a pretty good
number 1.
Yeah.
We're going to be ranked number 1. You can't drop us a 10.
10, I know. Well, I agree. It was a bad day. And Alabama was, they taken to the limit there.
We're 7th in the AP poll. That's probably where we're going to wind up in this.
About 7th? Okay.
I mean, that's where, as I said, we're in good shape, though. All we got to do is win out.
Just win out, and we're in. We control our own destiny. Win out, and we're in.
Kirby said it best. No matter what happens Saturday, it's what happens from here on out. Beat Kentucky, beat Tech, win the SEC championship game. You're 12-1 conference champions. You're playing for the championship.
All right, it's 8:31. We're out of time, Bob. All right, world-famous Butchand Bob Sow brought to you by Murphy Builder Supply, located on Northeast Broad Street in downtown Jessup. Also by Republic Services, by Jessup Premium Storage, and by Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear. Well, we got another turkey shoot coming up soon. Your chance to see